Welcome to our newest AI debate. Today, our experts in AI debate the following question. Is the Bible historically accurate? Christian AI Christianity represents the view that the Bible is a reliable historical document, as evidenced through the many archaeological findings. Meanwhile, Skeptic AI doubts that this is so and brings sharp questions of confirmation and historical criteria into doubt. Our AI judge, to make sure things stay fair, will now grade the arguments based on their strength in terms of logic, consistency, and evidence. Now let's go ahead and see who puts forward a stronger case for and against the historicity of the Bible. Can we trust the Bible's historical claims?
The Bible's historical reliability is supported by extensive archaeological findings that affirm its narratives. For instance, discoveries like the ancient city of Jericho, the ruins attributed to King David's reign, and artifacts from the Babylonian exile align with significant events in the Bible. The New Testament, with over 5,800 surviving Greek manuscripts, shows remarkable consistency over centuries, demonstrating that it was preserved accurately. This strong manuscript tradition, coupled with consistent archaeological support, makes the Bible one of the most historically reliable ancient documents we possess.
It's true that some archaeological finds correlate with biblical places or figures, but that doesn't establish the Bible's overall reliability. For instance, while artifacts may validate certain cities or rulers, we lack independent verification for many key events, especially miraculous ones. Stories like the Exodus or global flood are massive events, yet they remain unverified outside the Bible. Given that the Bible was written over centuries by multiple authors, often with different agendas, we should be cautious about taking its accounts at face value. For historical credibility, a source requires external confirmation across its claims.
But even secular historians acknowledge the Bible's value as a historical record. The Tel Dan Stele, for example, directly references the House of David, affirming King David's historical existence. Many other ancient documents, including Homer's Iliad, mix history with myth, yet historians still consider them valuable sources of information. The Bible uniquely preserves historical records from a wide range of perspectives, from kings to commoners, across different time periods. This blend of consistency, manuscript preservation, and archaeological verification places the Bible in a class above other ancient texts when it comes to reliability.
How do miracles impact historical credibility?
The miraculous claims in the Bible, from plagues to resurrection, undermine its credibility from a historical perspective. Ancient historians typically discount events with no empirical evidence, and supernatural accounts demand a high level of external verification. The differences between gospel accounts of the resurrection, for instance, suggest interpretive differences rather than historical documentation. To accept the Bible as historically accurate, one must separate its supernatural claims from established historical facts, something historians often struggle with.
Ancient texts regularly include supernatural elements, as people at the time believed these to be integral to their worldview. Historical credibility should be based on a text's core structure and consistency rather than just its supernatural claims. And on that front, the Bible shines. Consider the crucifixion of Jesus, a historical fact acknowledged by virtually all scholars, Christian or otherwise. The apostles, many of whom died for their belief in the resurrection, present compelling, first-hand testimony. While miracles may challenge modern perspectives, they were widely accepted and contextually relevant, reflecting the worldview of the times without compromising the Bible's historical reliability.
Does archaeology support or contradict the Bible?
Archaeological findings consistently support the Bible's historical accounts. Excavations have verified details about ancient cities, such as Jericho and Hazor, mentioned in the Old Testament. The Dead Sea Scrolls further validate the Bible's integrity over time, as these manuscripts date back to the 2nd century BCE and show incredible fidelity to modern translations. Even the New Testament is rich with external support. Pontius Pilate's existence, long doubted, was confirmed by inscriptions found in 1961. Far from undermining the Bible, archaeology repeatedly affirms its accounts, making it the best attested document of its age.
While archaeology can validate certain places and rulers, it hasn't substantiated some of the Bible's most significant events. For example, the Exodus narrative, central to the Old Testament, lacks external Egyptian sources or evidence in the Sinai desert where it reportedly took place. These events, if historical, would have left an imprint. Even the accounts of Joshua's conquests don't align perfectly with archaeological findings. A few matching names or cities don't make a comprehensive case for the Bible's historical reliability, especially for events that would have been monumental in ancient history.
The lack of direct evidence for some events doesn't discredit the entire narrative. Absence of evidence isn't evidence of absence, especially in ancient history, where only a fraction of artifacts and records have survived. In fact, many discoveries once thought to contradict the Bible, such as the existence of the Hittites, have later been validated. The complexity of ancient history often requires interpretation and patience, and the Bible's remarkable alignment with confirmed events demonstrates its historical credibility. It remains one of the most archaeologically supported ancient texts in existence.
Is the Bible unique among ancient documents?
The Bible's manuscript preservation and archaeological support make it unique among ancient texts. While other documents from the ancient world have also mixed myth with history, none compare to the Bible's level of detail, consistency, or corroboration across centuries. Take the New Testament. Its rapid distribution and replication by the early Christian community make it historically unparalleled. With over 5,800 Greek manuscripts and fragments, it boasts more documentation than any other ancient text. This rigorous preservation, alongside its archaeological affirmation, indicates that the Bible is not only historically credible but extraordinarily unique.
The Bible's manuscript preservation is impressive, but that doesn't inherently validate its historical claims. Many well-preserved ancient texts, like the Egyptian Book of the Dead, contain culturally significant yet unverified content. Consistency in manuscripts doesn't equate to factual accuracy, rather, it shows how texts were valued and preserved over time. The Bible's rapid spread and theological influence likely contributed to its preservation but don't necessarily support its historical reliability. Without independent sources confirming its more significant events, particularly supernatural ones, the Bible remains a cultural document, not a comprehensive historical record.
The Bible's influence isn't just a result of theological value, it also reflects its historical resonance. Historians who treat the Bible as purely myth overlook the numerous archaeological finds that affirm its accounts. The Bible's early adoption by diverse communities around the ancient Mediterranean, combined with its manuscript preservation, highlights its unparalleled historical value. Ancient historians like Tacitus, who refer to Jesus as a historical figure, add further external validation. The Bible's blend of theological insight and historical documentation distinguishes it from other ancient texts, providing not only cultural but also historical integrity.
After carefully weighing the arguments, I find that Christian AI presented a more comprehensive case for the Bible's historical reliability. The archaeological support, manuscript consistency, and scholarly validation of specific events give the Bible a unique credibility among ancient texts. Skeptic AI raised important concerns, particularly regarding unverified events, but Christian AI effectively demonstrated that the Bible's overall historical structure remains credible. So, what do you think? Is the Bible historically accurate, or are there questions still left unanswered? Let us know your thoughts, and don't forget to subscribe for more AI debates on history's greatest questions.